I kept seeing this trailer pop up, and it kept screaming at me on Netflix saying, "You love this, you'll love this, you'll love this." So I was like, "All right, I'll watch this." But I put it on my queue or whatever, saved it, and then I didn't watch it. And then I saw, I think, this story that I'm about to show you, and it really made me go, "Okay, now I got to watch it." Told my wife about it. We watched it last night. It's on Netflix, and it's the story of feeling heard. It's the story of wanting to make a difference. It's our story. It's everybody's story. If you got red blood flowing through you, man, you want to make a difference in this world, whether you want to admit it or not. And so this here I want to show you is the story that I think you'll find pretty fascinating. Let's stop the screen here. And it is not that long. Yeah, it's not that long. So, why don't you guys check it out? I'm going to get some water.
Mats was born with a rare muscle disease. As he gradually became more dependent on his wheelchair, his gaming time and screen time increased dramatically. Our deepest sorrow lay in the fact that he would never experience friendships, love, or to make a difference in other people's lives. You proved us wrong. You proved us so wrong.
Mats Steen's family were flabbergasted. They'd only just started grieving their dead son when dozens of unexpected messages started flooding in.
Mats was a real friend to me.
We were sitting in our living room on top of each other. We were crying. We didn't sleep. It's this blur that you are in the midst of. And then comes these messages, long stories from people in Denmark, Britain, Spain, France, telling about the relationship.
Deep
Relationship and deep stuff towards Mats. And we had no idea.
Mats had died at just 25 from Duchenne's, a lonely disease with no cure. His family from Norway hadn't a clue he'd been leading a parallel life online in World of Warcraft as Ibelin, dashing private investigator, friend and lover.
When his Warcraft friends then showed up in person at the funeral, I can't begin to imagine what that was like for you.
Oh, it was very, very strange. But also very good, because you could give them a hug. And they were physically,
The film tells Mats and Ibelin's story as they come of age as one in the virtual world, painstakingly animated from thousands of pages of gaming logs, alongside VHS tapes his dad had kept in the garage, and Mats' IRL blog posts, read by an actor.
It was just a virtual kiss.
Which revealed his deepest emotions about his friends and girlfriends.
But boy, I could almost feel it. It was the closest thing I've ever been to a crush in my entire life.
Man, I'm telling you right now, this movie, I believe, the Life of Ibelin is so good. It's on Netflix. Highly recommend it. I don't care what you're feeling right now, how you're feeling. We all feel despair. We all feel hurt. We all feel lonely. We all feel that we don't matter. We all feel that we want to make a difference at different points and times in our lives and at different levels. Mats, and it's pretty heartbreaking, his story, to see how he struggling as a kid, falling. When you have a kid, you definitely are like, oh, you're not hoping for anything bad. And then when you begin to see things like you could see this little kid just walking and falling, boom. And you're like, ooh, that's not normal. And then you see him grow up. And the way they tell this story was so well done, because it's really like a well-told story as well, how you see him. And you think this, right? When you see somebody that is in Matt's situation and you see them at the park, you see them at the mall, you see them in school, you see them and they're in this prison. Because that's what it breaks down to. His words. They're imprisoned in their bodies, guys. This is the only situation where I usually tell people, like, I can't even begin to handle that. But if you are of able body, and that means I don't give a shit if you got a bad knee, you're missing one leg, you can still get around. But when you're in a situation where there's a clock ticking, and every day you get worse, every day your muscles deteriorate, every day you need more help. You go from being able to walk to be able to use crutches, to having a cane, to sitting in a chair, to eventually slowly laying where your neck does not have the muscle stability or strength to hold itself up. I don't know if Matt's complained about stuff. I don't know if Matt's bitched about things, but I didn't see that in him. He wrote a blog. He shared his feelings. And what he was able to do in the online world was affect so many people's lives. The story of how he does it by, what does he do? Listening. They post on his blog, this family. Now imagine, you just want your kids to have as good a normal life as possible. That's ultimately what you want, right? You want them to not have to suffer too much. You don't want to have to suffer too little, because then they're too weak, right? But man, being confined to a wheelchair with a muscular dystrophy, which is what he had, and having this outlet, which I think, this is at its extreme level. But I think this outlet of being able to go into World of Warcraft and have this whole world where you're running, and that's what you would see Mats do. He'd get in the game, and he would start running for 30 minutes. Just running. And that's how people picked up. I'm like, who's this guy running? Well, yeah, because you know what? And he would talk in his own words. It was really well done, this documentary, and got an actor to say his words, what he would sound like. I believe he was from Norway, so they have this like certain sensibility about them. And they really told the story well. And the parents at the end, when he does pass, and they post on his blog that he's passed, and they get this outpouring of reaction from people. To imagine, you think your son has never kissed a girl, has never had relationships, because he sits in his room all day. Guys, I want to know, do you have the ability to, I hope that we do have somebody here that is in a situation like Matt's, where think about this. This isn't a situation where he was born and he had this. No, the kid was running around. He knows what that feels like. He was, he's in the pool, he's doing stuff. And then slowly but surely, your body breaks down. You're in that wheelchair. Slowly but surely, you end up watching other people do this. You end up going to other people's weddings. You may have 1,000 problems until you have a health issue. Then you only have one problem. That is 100% the truth. Evans, I bet you do identify with this story, brother. With your heart condition. And that's why I wanted to bring it up. I know, like, on this show, we've gone from dancing to Jodeci to now we're talking about some shit. Like, you watched it twice in one day. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, even the way they made it, like as I was watching this, I really do watch. I know, ATH, you got to go back. Don't even catch up with this now. Don't catch up. We've gotten to this point. It's an appreciation. It's about perspective. We're not being sad. This isn't to make you feel sad. This is about being appreciative. Okay? So, Barbara, we are here for you. We are your community here. I look forward to seeing you here every single day. Okay? Know that we are here for you as long as I can, keep these things coming. And of course, as long as the super chats come in for the Bald Asthma Glasses Dads of America. That money keeps rolling in for the charity for the 705 new 2590210 charity. we're here for you. But if not, we're not. From Jodeci to dystrophy. Whoa. Whoa. Very interesting. And ATH, you'll find this story very fascinating. This was the story of Mats. And his parents didn't think he did much, but then he lived this fascinating online world.
Out of his apartment for 10 years, who was as ill as any person could be. He got his feeding through a tube in his stomach. He was a womanizer. That, I think, was a kind of a shocking, pleasing kind of moment.
Yeah.
And we, of
Especially
course,
for the father.
yeah, I was a little bit proud being a father, even though from a moral point of view, he shouldn't do things like that, because obviously he was dating several women at the same time.
Ibelin was a friend that I could be open with. In there, my chains are broken, and I can be whoever I want to be.
The learning about the richness of Mats's life, which he experienced online, and which we did not see and did not accept and did not respect, is also kind of a learning, I think, for us.
And as his mother, how does it feel to know that he did make a difference in so many people's lives?
I knew that he was a kind and sharing and good boy, but that he had so long reach, and he made a difference for a lot of people.
It was so cool. It was so well done. You know, he got a girlfriend there. And really what he did was listen to people and gave some great advice too. Gave some really great advice. It's we can make a difference. And it's usually one-on-one. It's usually I have the ability to talk to you guys feeling like it is one-on-one because, you know, the platform, right? But day to day, you can make a difference. Day to day, you can help somebody out. Day to day, you know, there's just a lot out there. And